The next session is Leveraging Technology at the Grassroots for Scalable Impact. This is co-hosted by A.T.E Chandra Foundation and Tech for Dev. Please join me in welcoming our esteemed panel. Antara Vasudev, CEO and founder, CIVIS. Aradhna Rai Gupta, co-founder, Bala. This session will be moderated by Erica Arya, India Head, Project Tech for Dev. Over to you, Erica.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this session. And I hope you leave the room feeling more informed in taking your tech decisions. I feel very fortunate to be sharing the space today with two amazing and inspiring founders, Antara and Aradhna. Now, today, the topic, as you know, is how do we leverage technology at the grassroots for scalable impact. And many a times what we've seen, and we at Project Tech for Dev, who've been working with around 200 nonprofits in India and a couple of them in Africa, what we realized that many small and medium-sized organizations always feel that technology is something for the big-size organizations. Technology is something that needs a lot of budget. You need to have a large team. You need to have technical expertise to be able to think about technology. But today, through this discussion with Antara and Aradhna, I want to seed this thought in the room that technology is not just for the large-size organizations. So we have small, medium-sized organizations in the form of CIVIS and Bala, who will share their tech journey with you to tell you that there are open source solutions, there are tech platforms today, and that has led to a shift in the landscape of how we've been thinking about technology. So I will start this discussion with asking you, Antara, the first question. If you could share a little bit about how CIVIS started its tech journey and what has been your experience with technology.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Erica, and thank you for having us here today as well. I'll just briefly talk about the problem that CIVIS is aiming to solve and then the intervention of tech in that. CIVIS is an organization that aims to get more people's participation in lawmaking. We operate with a very simple funda that laws that are made for us should be made with us. And to do that at meaningful scale, you need to be able to actually engage a large number of people across different geographies and contexts. That made tech something that we were curious about even initially and something that we wanted to explore. But that being said, when I was thinking about today's panel, I have to admit that tech use came before meaningful tech use in the organization. I think we were first experimenting with it, dabbling with it, seeing कि अच्छा सस्ता टिकाऊ हम कुछ क्या कर सकते हैं exactly. And that meant that the first website even that we had was built on a drag and drop platform called Bubble for 100 rupees with yours truly as the developer. It was awful. Please don't go on the Internet Archive and look it up. It's truly terrible. But the idea was that we had that lens that there is something here. And I feel like a lot of organizations starting out also have that itch that there could be a way to optimize, or maybe there could be a way to take this work and impact to the next level using technology. For us, it became a tool for experimentation. It still is. We do a lot of pilots. We fail more than we succeed, but I think that's the goal internally for our tech curiosity as well. The idea really is that can we try different things and see if it works or not, if it sticks or not, but always have that bent of mind in terms of a general curiosity about how we use tech and also a general way of treating it like an experiment. So that's something that we've inculcated even now as we scale, and currently technology is more than a third of our organization resources go into tech. But it all started out with that one very bad website and a little bit of a curiosity to try and understand what could we do here. And I think that is something that's really common with everybody in this room as well.
Thank you for that. So what I could hear was that what enabled you to start on this journey was a lot of curiosity and having that appetite to, run an experiment and to be okay to fail with it. So that's really wonderful. And I just realized that we did not talk or introduce, what CIVIS does and what Project Bala does. So it'll be great. I know you covered a little bit in your answer, but Aradhana, if you could just start off with, giving a very brief intro about what Project Bala does, and also talking about your tech journey, like how did Project Bala think about, integrating tech into your programs? Because I think this is very relevant for the room. Many in this room would be small, medium-sized nonprofits thinking about technology. So both of your journeys will be like inspiring for them. Yeah.
Thank you, Erica. And I just want to let everyone know there's a huge timer in front of us. It's like 14 minutes left. So whatever you can grasp, please do. Bala basically started 7 years back with one aim to let everyone know what periods are and just normalize them. We've now grown to become a larger women's health organization focusing on education, sustainable products, and policy advocacy. All of it sounds very fancy, and it is, but what we realized in the beginning was, and it was from the very beginning, like you had a very good experience, not good, but like you had to personally be involved in building the website. For tech, also for us, it was like this goal that we need to achieve, कि अगर tech है हमारे organization में तो सारी problem solve हो जाएंगी. And for years we kept thinking, 2-3 years we were like, it's so expensive, we don't have a tech expert on the team, what do we do? So our journey honestly just started with Google Sheets, and after 2 years we got on to Kobo Toolbox, I think, something like that, Kobo, and then back to Google Sheets, because we were like, if we're working with someone in Northeast India, how will they answer things on smartphones? They don't have smartphones, so we will have to personally go get the data from them. So it was a lot of back and forth in the beginning. I think somewhere around 3 years back is when we realized that we need to start investing in tech. And that word, that mindset had to come in, where we were like, पैसे डालने पड़ेंगे अब कहीं ना कहीं. So we started reaching out to, Tech for Dev. You guys came up with Glyphic, Dalgo. And now I can confidently say that we have onboarded Dalgo very recently. And the journey has been just one of learning. I think more than the technical things that one needs to learn, it's genuinely just a mindset shift that needs to come into the team. We don't have a current tech expert on the team. We didn't even have the resources to onboard Dalgo. But we got on to 1 or 2 calls with the Dalgo team, and we're like, yes, this is going to solve the problem that needs to be solved on the ground. What is that problem? We just needed to collect data properly, analyze it, and make solutions based on it. One thing that was on our mind was it should not come as a disruptor. It should fit into our current work ethics. It should fit into our current solutions. It should fit into the kind of team that we currently have. And Dalgo very, very easily was able to help us with that.
Thanks a lot for that. So a couple of points from this that I can draw is that, let's not look at tech as a solution. It's more of an enabler. मतलब tech ले लिया इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि सब कुछ solve हो जाएगा. And another thing that you mentioned was like starting with Google Sheets. So we can always start small. Tech का मतलब ये नहीं है कि you have to have something big, integrated into your programs. It could be as simple as using a Google Sheet effectively for your programs. And another point that you said was the mindset shift. So you really need to know कि tech मेरे लिए ज़रूरी है, right? And that is where, things change from the top to within the organization. And I think I so much resonate with all, the points that you both have shared, because this is what we at Tech for Dev also try to, pass on to our nonprofits that this is how we need to think about technology. So, Aradhana, just next question to you. I know, right now you both are sitting here, you've got like solutions, interventions on technology, but it was not always like this where you are today. I know that, so what are the considerations that you keep in mind when you are thinking about a tech platform? Because I know this journey is new. Tech is not something that was known to you, right? So how do you take those decisions that I know, like, specifically, when you thought even about Dalgo, you would have evaluated other data management platforms. And we know that even for one of the other platforms, there has been a lot of to and fro. So it's not that you just know it from the very start that this is what I need. So what would you say, what were the things that you considered when deciding on a tech platform?
Because both the solutions that Erica is talking about are tech for dev, it's products. So
that's what I know, but I'm sure when you spoke about
a
Dalgo,
lot of
it
data
could have
management.
been other platforms.
So I think the first thing that we started realizing early on in the conversation was we need to start looking at the problem and not the product. So the product, we would get excited even if we saw Looker Studio, Power BI, Dalgo, Glyphic. हमें लगा कि वाओ यार हर चीज़ में डैशबोर्ड बन जाता है, so let's just take the one that looks the most fancy. But if you start with the problem, which is what we were trying to solve for, was we had data of over 500,000 women and girls across the country. It was just lying in different sheets, various sheets, and we were like, what do we do with this data? We don't know how to sit and sort through everything. That's when I think the first thing came to mind, ki, theek hai, this is the problem we need to solve. Leave the product. Whatever comes our way, that will be great. Second factor I would honestly say is the team integration. Your team, whoever your M&E person is, whoever your research person is, who is going to be working on this tech platform needs to know how to use it and needs to feel confident about using it. Our M&E expert is not at all confident about using Power BI. I said, absolutely, please do not onboard it. Third would, of course, be cost. I think for a small organization like ours, we have limited budgets, we have limited finance to take on any sort of tech, honestly. So it's just about comparing the cost. And I'm not saying the cheapest is the best, but have that as a consideration factor. Lastly, sorry, I'm taking up too much time. Yaar, ye bahut hi bada timer hai, sorry. I would say is to not think ki in the next 1 year, how will this solve the problem for me? Tech is going to change. Problems are going to change. Communities that you work with are going to change. Have like a 5-year vision, 10-year vision. Can this technology, can this partner that I'm onboarding today, can it continue working with me for the years to come? So that's the fourth thing I would keep in mind.
Thank you for that. And when we started this session, I was telling about tech being also, it being possible for small, medium-sized organizations to adopt. And that is where I also mentioned about open source solutions and, there being technology platforms available for, easy adoption at affordable cost. So my question to you, Andhra, is how has the accessibility of open source tools and platforms helped you somewhere in your tech journey?
Sure, thank you. I'll just start by quickly defining what open source is and who contributes to it. Open source tools, and I'm a big advocate, is essentially like a shared resource. So any organization or entity that is building tech has the option and opportunity to publish that code base or that tech for others to replicate it, to use it, to actually scale it beyond what the organization itself is able to do, right? So that is open source. It's a community resource, and who develops it actually is people globally actually come in and solve for specific problems in the open source ecosystem. Fun fact is that the internet actually came out of an open source project. So something that we use so quickly today started out as a shared project between people across different countries, and that's the beauty of open source tech. To Erica, your question about what exactly and how it's actually helped us, it's been a two-way two-way sword for us. One is that it allows us to, again, prototype and scale things very easily because the building blocks are already there. We can borrow a little bit of code from here, take a little bit from there, and the building blocks already exist, the products already exist. But the second side of that picture has been, because we work very closely with governments, the Ministry of Electronics and IT and a lot of other government bodies actually have mandates for open source technology, because they prefer technology which is open, transparent, accessible, and can be used more at scale without a very high cost. Now imagine our org budget and a ministry's budget, right? To deploy the same tools, it really takes cost high a lot. So they have a little bit of a mandate for open source tools and they prefer it. So for us, it became a question about, how can we contribute back what we're taking from this ecosystem, but also how can we actually actively look. And to be honest, Erica, like for every solution that we've looked for, including a lot of Project Tech for Dev's work as well, it's all open source. So there are abilities for us to maybe take like some pieces and share some of that code base amongst ourselves as well. So the opportunities are pretty infinite with open source technology. It's just about looking, but once you look, there is a solution out there already for what you're looking for.
Thanks. And just Antara, just continuing on that, would you like to share with the room any, example of an impactful tech intervention that has helped you scale your program? Because I know the kind of scale that you work at, and I also, when we were talking, you mentioned about different tech solutions that you tried. So if you could just share with the room any one of those interventions, it'll be great.
Sure, absolutely. And I will share this with the caveat that Erica doesn't know what intervention I'm going to talk about next, but it's actually Glyphic. The reason that I say that is because it's actually been such a flexible platform for us to engage people on different laws and policies. Very recently, in fact, we had almost 4 lakh citizens from across Maharashtra share feedback on a policy that the government of Maharashtra had come out with. And the only way that we were able to do that was there was one single WhatsApp link. It was powered by Glyphic. And it was what enabled us to gather feedback by voice. We got people handwriting letters, clicking pictures of that and sharing it. So we were able to actually capture the aspirations of 4 lakh people using a tool that we didn't even build, right? So this is something that I do want to emphasize, that it's now making its way into policy decisions in the state, and it's very, very impactful. But that's the power of these tools that we can just adopt, use, contribute to, and then build on top of as well.
Thanks. So I just want to tell the room, while we've been taking examples of Glyphic and Dalgo, but it's not something that we wanted the panel to be about. So I just want to share that there are many other open source tools and technology platforms that are there and available at affordable prices. You just need to, find out what is the right fit for you and your pocket. And just before, as I can see the clock ticking, so just one last piece of, an advice that you would want to give to, nonprofits who are wanting to start their tech journey. That will be great to hear, because you started your journey in that way. A lot of questions, confusions. So what is that one advice that you would want to, share with the room?
I think just embrace it as much as you can, because honestly, technology has changed the way we talk about Bala. So we used to call ourselves as like this implementation organization, but because of technology, we've been able to build capacity for other organizations. So I think it's a big enabler. Embrace it and start small. Like I don't know what this room consists of, but if you're a small organization, you don't have tech integrated into your workflow, try doing that in small ways. Incorporate a WhatsApp chatbot. I'm sure we're all working with different communities. Start working with Google Sheets, Excels, those kind of things, and start moving your way up. Start building resources inside the team so that you have someone ready for a year later if you want to go to Tech for Dev. That'll be my advice.
Thank you. I think the one thing that I want to share is something that you just articulated as well, is that tech is only an enabler. We can't magically fix any sort of problems with it, but the most successful use of tech actually comes from our own understanding of our use case and our beneficiaries and stakeholders. So that is what adds value to tech, and tech adds value to that. But without that understanding, tech, it doesn't actually bring any new value addition to the work that we're doing. So it's very important for us to go with that mindset as well, because oftentimes we get intimidated by tech, or we try and look at it ki acha ye to kuch, it's like some sort of third force in our universe. But the idea is that we are driving it and we can mold it to be whatever we want. The knowledge and the assets and the value that we bring lies within us as organizations in the sector.
Thanks a lot for sharing your views. So just closing this by saying that what Antara mentioned, that you need to know within, like you really need to know what is the need for which you are looking at technology to be filling that gap. So it's very important for you to know your user and your need. And second, as what Aradhana said, start small. You don't always have to start with a big platform, but maybe just using small free tools like, for example, Google Sheets can bring in a lot of difference, builds in a lot of capacity, and gives you that confidence that, yes, I can think about technology and it looks less intimidating. So, yeah, thank you so much, Antara and Aradhana, for spending your time here.
Thank you so much, Antara, Aradhana, and Erica, for the insightful conversation. I now invite Prashast from SAJA to deliver a lightning talk.
The timer hasn't started. Okay, cool. Hello everyone, I'm Prashast from SAJA. I'm very scared of public speaking, but I'll try and do my best and make it interesting and useful. About SAJA, we work towards improving FLN, foundation literacy and numeracy of children. The idea behind our work is that every parent deserves a chance to do something about learning of a child and is capable of doing something. We enable this process by 3 steps. First, identifying what exactly is the learning difficulty of the child, where exactly is he or she facing a challenge. Second, explaining to the parent what can she do in order to ensure that a child is able to learn. And third is a regular hand-holding and nudges, which actually helps kid in adopting content which is relevant and useful for them. In terms of scale, we are mainly in Delhi NCR, 250,000 parents are in our network, budget is around 5 CR, and our team size of 100 individuals is essentially enabling this transformation. Coming to the tech, and we are a 10-year-old organization. Prior to 2019, we were working mainly through a combination of school and field visits. Now, when you work through school, our unit of intervention was a school. There were 2 major problems. One, our unit cost, because it was centered on a school, was too high. And second, school governance improving, that leads to improved learning outcomes, was slightly indirect for us. And then 3 things happened for us, which were not exactly in our scheme of things. First, in 2019, we did a project with Google, and the idea was if parents can be supported for adopting an app which they had built called Read Along. That was the first experience of a virtual call center sort of a thing. Second, 2020, of course, COVID happened, field visits were not possible. That is when we built a model where parents who were hired into a team were talking to other parents and trying to support them and figure out what challenges they were facing. And third, in 2021, we were a part of opening cohort for Bridgespan's BNDP program, which gave us very clear outcomes and metrics. So that's when we sort of narrowed down our focus on foundational literacy and numeracy. Now, our tech journey sort of mirrored these interventions. Our first tech intervention was a Nolarity, a cloud calling solution which we had built over Nolarity. But I think Aradhana was talking about Google Sheets, etc., and that is where we were also stuck. A lot of data in Google Sheets, notebooks, etc. So can there be an app which actually helps in integrating this data? That is when SAJA Connect, our first in-house app, was built. But it wasn't tested at scale, and that's when we reached out to an expert, Platform Commons, who actually built an app which could be then scaled. So that was the first phase of the journey. In the second phase of the journey, there were 3 key elements which we were focusing on. Can I improve the experience of parents who were using the app to call other parents? Can I improve my cost metrics? And can I improve my parent experience? For improving the experience of our callers, we did a lot of stuff. We integrated a WhatsApp chatbot with calling apps, so all the data is at one place. We were a part of a data catalyst program, which actually helped us in defining metrics and aligning team on them. For cost efficiency, we built an automatic dialer. We are working with Koita Foundation to improve our app. And we are working with IIM Ahmedabad to sort of undertake A/B test and figure out what exactly parents want and what helps parents and what does not help parents. I think Erica was also talking about mindset shifts, and there were 3. I'll try and summarize them. The first mindset shift was, what is our problem? And I think over time, we realized that we want to work on foundational literacy and numeracy. So that gave us a very clear idea about what are the things which we are going to do and what are the things which we are not going to do. Second mindset shift was, what is not our problem? And that is where Shantanu from SVP, Making from Madhyam, and Brijesh from India Mart, they sort of helped us in figuring out what do you need to do and what do you need to outsource. The third bit was, we were a lot of anecdote-heavy organization. So something happens, so we build it. But now there's a lot of focus on testing and A/B testing, etc., to figure out what will work at scale and what will not work at scale. Okay, 34 seconds. If there's one advice which I can give to other organizations, I would say stay close to your end beneficiary. For us, parents with whom we work, the most valued feature was parent-to-parent interaction, the ability to talk to another human. So all our technology solutions are actually geared towards ensuring that this interaction becomes more fruitful, more efficient. So not replacing this human-to-human interaction, but enabling this in a much better way. Thank you.
Thanks, Prashant, and especially for keeping on time, and for someone scared of public speaking, it didn't show up. Next, I invite Madhuri and Vivek from Indus Action to deliver the lightning talk.
Okay, so I was going to utilize this time till the PPT came up, but I'm going to ask everyone to just close your eyes for a minute, for a few seconds. Sona nahi hai. Okay, and now I want you to think of the last construction site that you saw on the way to work, near your house, a metro being built. Aankh sach mein band karni hai. Satyam, don't open your eyes. Just think of that construction site. Think of that yellow hat you saw there. The worker carrying EAT on their head, right? Children playing there. Okay, you can open your eyes. Thank you. I just want you to stay with that image as we talk for the next 5 minutes. I'm Madhuri, and I'm very short for this. Sorry. I am Madhuri. This is Vivek. We're from Indus Action. It is an organization headquartered in Delhi, founded in 2013. एंड हमारा मेन काम है सरकार की जो योजनाएं होती हैं वो लोगों तक कैसे पहुँचे और उसमें टेक्नोलॉजी को हम कैसे यूज़ कर सकते हैं. दैट इज़ द शॉर्टेस्ट दैट आई कुड कम अप विद गाइस. बाकी इज़ ऑन आवर वेबसाइट. The construction worker that I was talking about right now, just think of Hemlal, who is a construction worker who I have met in Raipur in Chhattisgarh. When he tried to get his daughter admitted into school, he realized there were a lot of issues. He could not get access to a scholarship. He did not have the funds at that point he wanted to put her into a private school, and he was not able to do that. Because he said, पैसे कहाँ से आएंगे? ये इतने पैसे important है तो वो खाने में इसमें लग जाएंगे. Where am I going to get the funds from? He never realized that as a construction worker who was working in the state, he had access to a lot of rights which the government provided. He did not know that he could register as a construction worker, first of all. So he was working unregistered. He did not then realize that how could he register? Like what documents are required? What makes him eligible as a construction worker. He did not realize that अगर register हो गए उसके बाद क्या करें, ऐसी कौन सी schemes हैं जिसके लिए उन्हें access मिल सकता है, right? Then he has a daily wage to earn. He cannot roam around getting the documents that are then required, which are about 10 or 15, to apply for a particular scheme. That is the journey that we are on with every single citizen, right? There are 3 phases that we talk of, which is discovery, documentation, and then delivery, where citizens really suffer from not knowing what they're eligible for, what schemes are out there. Any wild guess from any of you, how many DBTs are direct benefit transfers that does the government have nationally? Any number, any of you? It's a random number. Quickly. Time nahi hai. Okay, 2780. 500 plus nationally, guys. Right? And then every state has their own. Karnataka has 1800 plus. People don't know what those are. Discovery is a huge problem. अब उसके लिए eligible कैसे होंगे, documentation क्या use करेंगे, they don't know that. अगर कर लिया apply, पैसे कब मिलेंगे, delivery कब होगी, they have no clue of that. And that for the first 2 stages is where a product that we're talking of, which is the eligibility engine, comes in, and Vivek will talk us through what the eligibility engine does.
Thanks, Madhuri. So I'm going to quickly take you guys through the eligibility engine, what it does. This exactly solves that problem, the problem of discovery of these schemes that the different departments and the government actually hold. And why we have kind of built this is to really kind of enable that agency for the citizens to really be able to kind of discover those schemes and exactly find out that whether they are actually eligible for these schemes or not. So it's what we call like the eligibility assessment mechanism, and this is where eligibility engine actually comes in. So it's an open source platform. It's a digital public good that we have kind of put out, and we being a systemic change organization, we integrate this with like different governments, different departments. And what this essentially does is that 2 things. One is that it enables the government to become like more citizen-centric, and what that exactly means is that it kind of enables the citizens to be able to kind of discover these schemes that these government and these departments hold, and to be able to kind of really assess the eligibility for themselves. How this is kind of designed, so it's a 4-step process. So what we kind of do in this entire thing is that we kind of extract all the information from these different scheme documents, and these can be like different eligibility criteria, documentation requirements, benefits summary, using AI, and we kind of then put this into like a rule which is called decision tables. It's a rule-based engine which kind of then assesses the data that you kind of feed into this and gives you in return the eligibility status, your proximity score, your documentation requirements, and even the proximity to the nearest support that you can actually avail. So this is how this essentially works. I've kind of run out of time, but I'm going to wrap this up with one learning that we have had actually building this through is, and a lot of that has already been said in this previous panel as well. But I'm going to bring like one thing. So I'm going to stay away from like keep it simple, keep it open source, exercise radical frugality. But I think one thing that really kind of stuck out for us is I think for every organization to, if they want to kind of leverage tech or embrace tech, I think you have to kind of build that tech mindset within the organization very early on, because I think that is what we have kind of struggled through, and that is one of the major learnings that we have had through our journey. I'm going to wrap this up now, but thank you for listening. Thanks.
Thanks, Madhuri and Vivek. I now invite Sneha from Tech for Dev to facilitate the breakout group discussion. And yes, if you're here just to listen, sorry, you're in the wrong room. We are here to engage, collaborate, and learn. So over to you, Sneha.
Hello, everyone. For the next segment of our session today, so what we're going to do now is we're going to have an interactive breakout discussion on our tables. For the next 20 minutes, what we're going to do is, the first thing is On each of the table, we're going to assign one topic, and that topic has some cues written on it. We are going to have a discussion around that topic for 15 minutes, and towards the end, for 5 minutes, we'll just do a synthesis on the table itself. Another thing that we're going to do now is basically, you might have to get up and arrange yourself in a group of 10. So if you're people less than 5 on a table or you're sitting around, if you can just get up and arrange yourself in a group of 10, that would be great.
Hi, everyone. Let's thank Sneha for facilitating such an engaging discussion. It was so good to hear all of you discuss, laugh, and even try and solve some of the problems that we are facing. So thank you so much for participating in this.